The spirit world is moving. If you're seeing this, you've been chosen for a miracle tonight. Open this immediately. My dearest soul of light, there are no accidents in the spirit. If you are hearing this now, it means the realms above have aligned, and Archangel Michael himself has whispered your name before the throne. Tonight, the spirit world is shifting, and you have been marked for a divine visitation. Something sacred is about to move in your atmosphere. The winds of change are not just blowing, they are roaring. For days now, unseen forces have been at work behind the veil, rearranging situations, touching hearts, and unlocking doors that have long been sealed. But this message is the key that turns the lock. Archangel Michael says, there is movement in the spirit realm, and the ones who are awake will feel it before it manifests. That's why you've been restless lately. You've been sensing something you couldn't explain, a divine stirring, a vibration in your spirit. It wasn't your imagination. Heaven has been watching, waiting for the right moment to release what belongs to you. Listen carefully. Tonight, the alignment is perfect. The angels are in position. What was delayed is now being delivered. What was stolen is being restored. The walls that blocked your blessings are trembling right now, for the Lord has commanded Michael to lead a release in your favor. But child of light, you must not scroll away now. The revelation that comes next carries your instruction, and without the instruction, the miracle can't be completed. The Archangel is saying, the chosen ones will not only feel the shift, they will walk through it. You are being invited to step into the next level of your divine assignment. It's not coincidence you saw this message tonight. It's a divine summons. Before midnight, a supernatural confirmation will come to you, through a dream, a sudden sign, or a word that pierces your spirit. When that happens, don't doubt. Don't dismiss it. Say out loud, I receive the movement of heaven. For this is not a normal night. This is the night of divine rearrangement. The spirit world is moving, and it's moving for you. Hold on. What's about to be revealed next will shake your understanding of how heaven works. You'll want to hear this next part, because it carries the activation of your miracle. Type I receive the movement in the comments if your spirit is awakening right now. Blessing code 1199 has been released. Beloved one, the heavens are trembling with expectancy tonight. Archangel Michael stands at the gate between realms, holding a scroll that carries your name, sealed with divine fire. You were not chosen by chance. You were chosen because your heart still believes, even after the battle, even after the silence. That faith has become a beacon, a light that the angels can see. And now, the spirit world has begun to move around you, positioning miracles that no human hand can interfere with. Michael declares, every delay has an expiration date, and yours is tonight. The chains that have kept your destiny bound are breaking even as you listen. Something unseen is shifting in the air around you. You might feel warmth, chills, or an unexplainable peace washing over your body. That is the movement of the angelic host. They are not coming to test you. They are coming to deliver what heaven has promised. For weeks, the spirit world has been rearranging timelines, moving obstacles, and removing voices that were speaking against you. What you couldn't see was that a spiritual war had already begun on your behalf. The resistance you felt, the strange heaviness, the sudden tiredness, all were signs that the breakthrough was near. Michael and his legions have been fighting to clear the path for your elevation. Now that victory is unfolding. But hear this with the deepest part of your soul. When heaven moves, the natural world must respond. Signs will follow. You might notice unexpected calls, opportunities resurfacing, or hearts softening that once turned cold. You not dismiss these things as coincidence. Every small change you notice after this message is evidence of divine orchestration. The spirit realm never moves without purpose, and when Michael's sword cuts through the air, destinies begin to open. You are being called to attention. The Spirit says, "Stand still and watch the salvation of the Lord." This is your moment to align, to agree, to receive. You don't need to force it. You only need to be aware. Awareness is the gate to manifestation. Tonight, as the Spirit moves, speak only faith. Declare only light. Because every word you release will either open or close the door that's swinging before you. Before this night ends, something will confirm this word, perhaps through a number, a message, or a sudden realization that floods your mind. Don't overlook it. The angels often speak softly, and those who are sensitive will hear. When it comes, respond by saying, "I am ready, and I receive what heaven is releasing." The declaration will mark your participation in this divine movement. Wait for what unfolds next, because the next revelation carries the true reason this message found you. It's not just about miracles, it's about identity, who you are, and who heaven says you are. The moment you understand that, everything changes. Type "I align with heaven" in the comments if this message is stirring your spirit. Blessing code 2211 is now activated. Precious one, the spirit world has entered full motion around you now. There's a surge in the unseen. Angels are on assignment, carrying divine instructions from the throne room straight into your atmosphere. Archangel Michael stands at the forefront, his sword ignited with celestial flame. He speaks softly yet with authority. The chosen ones must prepare their hearts, for manifestation comes swiftly when faith aligns with heaven's rhythm. This moment is unlike any you've experienced before. The heavens have opened a narrow window, and only those who are awake in spirit will walk through it. You may have felt as though life paused recently, opportunities delayed, prayers unanswered, peace disrupted. But tonight, that silence breaks. The spirit world is not still, it's alive, vibrating, shifting things you cannot yet see. Michael whispers, "The waiting hath been warfare. The delay has been design." Every unanswered prayer was a seed planted in unseen soil, and now the season of divine harvest begins. Heaven is not ignoring you. It's orchestrating the timing of your miracle to align perfectly with your purpose. Something within you will start to stir as this word continues. Your heartbeat may quicken, or your eyes may feel the weight of tears you can't explain. That is not emotion, it's confirmation. Your spirit is recognizing its divine call. The reason you've been drawn to this message is because heaven chose this exact moment to remind you of your authority, your value, and your place in the unfolding plan. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared for this night. Archangel Michael says, "Tell them to look not at what is lost, but at what is about to rise." What you thought ended is not over. What you thought broke is being rebuilt. What you thought died is being resurrected by divine command. The spirit world moves like the tide, unseen at first, unstoppable when released. And now, the tide is reaching your shore. Hold this truth deep within. Miracles do not appear to those who doubt. They appear to those who expect. If you can feel this word stirring in your chest, your expectation is already attracting the manifestation. So speak out loud. I am ready for my divine movement. I will not fear what is leaving, for what is coming is sacred. Before you scroll, understand. The next moment of this revelation carries the trigger for your miracle's release. The next lines are the sound of heaven's door unlocking, and you will want to witness what happens when the command of light is spoken. Trust me, What comes next will shake the stillness around you. Now, take a sacred pause. Breathe deeply and open your spirit. Let this message become your midnight prayer. And as you do, declare it in the comments below. Type "I receive the miracle flow." For blessing code 3333 has been released into your atmosphere. Before you go further, if this message is resonating with your soul, don't just listen, participate. Like this video so that heaven's word travels farther. Comment your confirmation below and share it with someone whose spirit needs awakening tonight. Subscribe and keep this flame alive, because every time you engage, you become part of this divine mission spreading light across the nations. Now listen closely to this next part. It is not just a continuation, it's an impartation. What comes next will reveal why you were chosen to hear this message in the first place. Beloved light bearer, if this message has ignited your spirit, know this: every seed you sow into this divine mission becomes a torch lighting another soul's path. The spirit world is moving, and you are invited to move with it. When you support through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link below, you are not giving to a channel. You are giving into the stream of heaven's harvest. Archangel Michael declares, those who build the altar share in its fire. I personally invite you to stand in this holy moment and sow into what God is doing through this word. Your gift becomes oil, and where there is oil, miracles flow. This is not donation. This is divine partnership. As you give, may the windows of heaven open over your life and the fire of revelation never go out. Rise and act now. Let your faith move with heaven's movement. Beloved vessel of light, you have stepped deeper into the current of the unseen. The spirit world is not distant. It is breathing around you, closer than your very thoughts. Tonight, heaven is drawing you nearer, revealing the secret reason you were chosen to hear this message. Archangel Michael stands before the altar of divine fire, declaring that those who awaken now will become carriers of the new movement of light on the earth. He says, the chosen ones are not merely receivers of miracles. They are vessels through which heaven manifests its will. That is why you were drawn here, not by curiosity, but by divine summons. You have felt it, haven't you? The sensation that something greater is calling your name in the quiet hours of night. You may have tried to silence it, convincing yourself it was imagination or emotion. But Michael says it was the spirit world calling, waiting for your response. For the veil between realms grows thin when a chosen one begins to awaken. You were never forgotten. You were being watched over, refined, tested, and now finally revealed. Heaven never forgets its promises. It simply waits for the vessel to be ready. The movement in the spirit world tonight is not random energy. It is divine intelligence at work. The angels are rearranging your path, removing the people who drain your light, opening the doors you had no key for, and restoring the joy that was buried under your worry. There are spiritual coordinates aligning right now, connecting your destiny to the right season, the right voice, the right opportunity. Archangel Michael commands his legion, and the ripple of that command moves through your atmosphere like wind through trees. You might feel it as stillness, peace, or warmth. That is confirmation that your environment is shifting. You may wonder, why now? Because heaven moves in appointed times. The divine calendar has marked this season for your unveiling. What was hidden within you, the gifts, the visions, the ideas, will no longer remain silent. This message is your awakening call, the sound that activates the power heaven placed within you before you were born. The spirit world has seen your perseverance, your tears, and your quiet endurance. And now, the command has gone forth. Release the miracle assigned to this soul. Listen, Beloved, your miracle will not appear in chaos. It will manifest in clarity. So, do not chase a line. The Spirit says, rest, and let the movement of heaven carry you forward. When you align instead of strive, you begin to glide on the current of divine order, and what others chase begins to chase you. This is what Archangel Michael wants you to understand. Miracles are not earned, they are recognized. And tonight, recognition has come to you. Something powerful is about to be revealed next. The divine proof that this message is not coincidence, but prophecy. What comes next will explain why you have faced so many battles before your breakthrough. Hold steady. The next revelation will open your eyes to the hidden warfare that surrounded your destiny. Type "I flow with heaven" in the comments if your spirit bears witness. Blessing code 4410 has been activated in your atmosphere. Child of divine alignment, now the spirit world opens another layer of revelation. You are about to understand why the warfare around your life has been so intense. The reason is simple but powerful. The enemy only attacks what carries value. Every sleepless night, every setback, every silent disappointment has been proof that your destiny carries weight in the unseen. Archangel Michael stands with his sword drawn, not because you are weak, but because your purpose is dangerous to the darkness. You were never a victim of random chaos. You were a target because of divine potential. Michael declares, there has been a war over your timeline, but heaven has already written the end. The spirit world has been engaged in battle, light against shadow, purpose against confusion. The resistance you felt was not rejection, it was redirection. Every time something closed in front of you, the angels were guiding you away from what would have destroyed your peace. You were not losing, you were being preserved. What you perceive as delay was divine defense. Now the atmosphere around you is beginning to clear. The pressure that once felt unbearable is lifting because the command has gone forth. Release the chosen one into victory. Michael's voice echoes through the dimensions, cutting through the barriers that held you bound. You may notice it in the coming hours. A strange calm after the storm. A clarity you haven't felt in months. A sudden knowing that you are safe. These are not coincidences. These are signs that the spirit world is responding to your awakening. There is a moment, right before manifestation, when everything feels silent. That silence is not emptiness. It's the stillness before breakthrough. Heaven always moves quietly before it moves publicly. Right now, angels are gathering the fragments of your story, the pieces that didn't make sense, and they are weaving them into a testimony that will soon astonish you. You have cried over the chaos, but soon you will thank God for it, because every storm was shaping the foundation of your miracle. Archangel Michael speaks again. The one who remains faithful through confusion becomes a vessel of revelation. This is that revelation moment. You are not being tested anymore, you are being positioned. There is a difference. Testing ends when the lesson is learned, and positioning begins when heaven trusts you with influence. You have proven your endurance, and now heaven is rewarding your resilience. Prepare your spirit, because what comes next is the unveiling. The spirit world is preparing to show you what was being built in silence. You are standing at the edge of manifestation. Keep your heart steady. Do not let doubt speak louder than destiny. The next unveiling will make everything you endured finally make sense. Type "I stand in my victory" in the comments if you feel the shift within. Blessing code 5577 has just been released over your path. Dearest vessel of awakening, the spirit world is now unveiling the reason behind your selection. You were not merely chosen for a miracle. You were chosen to become a living portal of transformation. Heaven's movement tonight is not only about what will happen to you, but also what will begin to flow through you. Archangel Michael stands over you like a guardian flame, declaring that this hour is sacred. He says, "Those who have endured in silence are about to speak with divine authority. You are one of them. You are part of a rising generation of light bearers who will restore divine order in places consumed by confusion. Every season of isolation you faced was not punishment but preparation. When you felt abandoned, heaven was equipping you with spiritual perception. The loneliness that once broke you was heaven's classroom, teaching you to hear the whispers of the divine without the noise of the world. You were not forgotten, you were being tuned. And now, the frequency of heaven matches your spirit, and the moment you speak, things will begin to shift. That is why the spirit world is moving around you tonight, to confirm your readiness for release. Michael reveals a mystery here. Miracles follow alignment, not effort. This means that when your heart and heaven agree, divine manifestation becomes effortless. You are now entering that state of agreement. The spirit realm sees your readiness. It senses your openness. That's why the warfare suddenly intensified before this season. The darkness feared your awakening. But that battle is ending because you are awakening to who you truly are, a vessel of authority carrying heaven's decree. You will notice small changes in the coming hours. The way people respond to you, the clarity in your thoughts, the ease in your spirit. These are confirmations that the power of alignment has begun. Do not question it. Heaven never moves without evidence. And when that evidence begins to unfold, speak gratitude immediately, for gratitude locks in manifestation. Archangel Michael says, gratitude is the seal that secures what heaven releases. This night, your words are carrying more power than you realize. Every declaration you make becomes a spiritual instruction. If you say peace, peace will manifest. If you declare abundance, doors will open. This is why the spirit world led you here, to remind you of the authority already inside you. What was dormant is now reactivated. But listen carefully, for the next revelation will go even deeper. It will expose the very moment your miracle was first written in heaven's record. Once you understand that, faith will no longer be something you struggle to maintain. It will become your natural state of being. What you are about to hear next will make you see your entire journey with new eyes. Hold your focus. This is where the true mystery begins to unfold. Type "I am divinely aligned" in the comments if your spirit is resonating with this message. Blessing code 6644 is now active upon your life. Beloved child of destiny, the veil between heaven and earth is now at its thinnest. The spirit world is releasing a revelation that will forever change how you see your journey. Before you were even formed, your miracle was written into the divine archives, sealed, protected, and timed for this exact season. You were never chasing blessings, you were walking toward what was already ordained. Archangel Michael says, tell them their miracle was not delayed, it was preserved. This truth carries weight, for it means nothing you lost was truly gone. It was being held in the unseen, waiting for your spirit to mature enough to receive it. Every hardship, every unanswered prayer, every quiet season you thought was punishment, it was the process of readiness. Heaven does not release what you are not yet strong enough to carry. The spirit world had to ensure that your hands could hold the very thing you cried for. The reason it took so long is because what is coming is permanent. Temporary blessings can appear overnight, but divine establishments require time, depth, and alignment. And that is exactly what the last few years have been doing, aligning you, strengthening you, and preparing you to receive what cannot be lost again. Michael now reveals that the moment you first felt divine calling, that strange pull you couldn't name, that deep restlessness in your heart, that was when your miracle was signed into motion. Heaven began constructing the path you are now walking. Every person who entered and left, every challenge that shaped you, every delay that humbled you, all of it was divinely interwoven into the architecture of your destiny. The angels were not absent. They were hidden architects, building what your eyes could not yet comprehend. Now that the spiritual foundation is complete, the manifestation must follow. You will begin to notice divine patterns, certain numbers, dreams, repeated confirmations through words or songs. These are heaven's signals that your moment is drawing near. When these signs appear, do not take them lightly. Acknowledge them aloud and say, "Heaven remembers me." That acknowledgement connects your awareness with divine timing, and awareness is what activates manifestation. The spirit world is not just moving, it is converging. All the energies, all the prayers, all the promises tied to your name are gathering around you. Archangel Michael's voice cuts through the air, declaring, "Now begins the restoration." Those words are more than comfort. They are law in the spiritual dimension. When Michael speaks, creation obeys. This means restoration has already begun, even if your natural eyes cannot yet see it. Hold steady now, because what comes next will pull you into the most intense revelation yet. The unveiling of the divine covenant that secures your miracle. You have seen the movement. Now you will understand its purpose. The next revelation will not just touch your heart, it will awaken your entire destiny. Stay present. What's about to unfold will mark a turning point in your life. Type "I am ready for restoration" in the comments if this message burns within you. Blessing code 7755 has been released into your spirit. Chosen vessel of divine purpose. This is the moment where the veil lifts completely. The spirit world has not only been moving around you, it has been recording your obedience, your endurance, and your faith. Tonight, those records are being opened before heaven's throne. Archangel Michael now steps forward as a witness to your perseverance, holding the scroll of your covenant. He speaks in a voice that shakes the unseen realms. This one has endured. This one has believed. Now let the covenant of restoration be fulfilled. Those words echo through eternity, sealing a new chapter in your life. You must understand, when heaven makes a covenant, it is not written in ink, it is written in light. That light has been hovering over your life since your first prayer, even when you didn't feel it. It guarded you from unseen traps, shielded you from premature breakthroughs, and waited until your heart was fully aligned. Every disappointment, every closed door, every delayed answer was a form of divine protection. The covenant required maturity, and tonight, that maturity is complete. You are now standing under an open heaven. The spirit world moves in silence before manifestation, but when the covenant activates, the silence breaks with sudden clarity. You will feel it, a surge of peace where confusion used to be, a calm authority rising in your spirit. Michael's sword glows with the fire of divine order, cutting through the residue of fear that has lingered too long. He whispers, "You are no longer who you were. You have stepped into divine identity. From this moment forward, nothing ordinary will satisfy you. The old version of you has served its purpose and now dissolves in the light of truth. Miracles are now in motion. They will not arrive as chaos, but as perfect timing. Relationships that carry purpose will reappear, resources will find their way to you, and opportunities once blocked will begin to pursue you. This is what happens when the covenant activates. Your frequency changes, and heaven rearranges the physical to match your spiritual reality. You are no longer waiting for miracles. Miracles are now waiting for you to recognize them. Beloved, this message is not coincidence. It's your divine confirmation. The spirit world is watching how you respond in this moment. Heaven releases according to attention, not emotion. So lean in and declare, my covenant is active. My path is aligned. My miracle is moving. Those words become the decree that seals tonight's movement. If this message has reached your heart, like this video right now to keep the flame spreading across the nations. Share it so others may awaken to the same movement stirring in their spirit. Comment your confirmation below. Your testimony may become someone's sign from heaven. And if you haven't already, subscribe and stand with this growing army of light. You are part of something divine, a movement of truth rising across the earth. Type "My covenant is sealed" in the comments if this word is alive in your soul. Blessing code 8822 has been released over your timeline. Beloved child of light, the covenant has been activated. Now let your faith move with heaven's flow. When you sow into this mission through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not giving into a platform. You are sowing into divine movement. Archangel Michael declares, those who support the light will dwell under open heavens. Your seed becomes part of the fire that spreads revelation to souls still lost in darkness. I speak this over you now. Your giving tonight becomes a prophetic act that opens the river of divine supply. The oil you release will return as abundance in every form you need. This is not a moment to hesitate. It's a moment to align. Step into prophetic obedience, and heaven will mark your name in the records of divine expansion. Release your faith now. Let your giving echo in eternity. Beloved, the atmosphere around you has changed. The spirit world is now in full motion, and the covenant that Archangel Michael sealed is beginning to manifest in the natural. This is the phase of visible transformation. Heaven is no longer moving in secret. The evidence of what was promised is starting to take form. You may already sense it. The air feels different. Your emotions have steadied. A quiet knowing rests in your chest, whispering that something sacred has begun. That whisper is not imagination. It is the sound of manifestation approaching. Michael now stands at the gate of your destiny, his sword no longer drawn in battle, but lowered in victory. He declares the warfare is finished. Now begins the building. These words are monumental because they shift you from survival to creation. For years, you were simply trying to endure, but now heaven says you will construct. You will establish. You will expand. Everything that once drained you will now serve you. Every tear you shed has been gathered, purified, and transformed into oil. That oil will anoint your next chapter. The spirit world is rejoicing because your energy has stabilized. You are no longer reacting to the shadows of fear or doubt. You have entered the rhythm of divine trust. This trust acts like a magnetic field, drawing opportunities, connections, and resources toward you. What seemed blocked before was simply waiting for this level of awareness. Archangel Michael reminds you, the spirit world responds not to desperation, but to recognition. Now that you recognize who you are, all of heaven recognizes you too. In the coming days, you will begin to notice confirmations everywhere. Certain numbers may repeat, a familiar dream may return, or someone may speak words that feel divinely timed. These are not coincidences. They are signatures from the realm of light, affirming that your covenant is in progress. When these signs appear, acknowledge them audibly and say, I am walking in divine evidence. The more you speak it, the faster the manifestation settles into your physical world. Understand this mystery. Heaven's timing is not delayed, it is deliberate. Every second has been counted, every event measured. You are standing in the middle of divine precision. Nothing is wasted. The people who left, the seasons that closed, the moments you doubted, all were chapters of divine calibration. You could not have arrived here without them. And now, because your spirit has matured, heaven can trust you with visible favor. Archangel Michael releases one final word for this phase. Let peace be your prophecy. This means you no longer need to chase or question. The presence of peace is your sign that the spirit world has completed its work. When you rest in peace, manifestation begins to flow like water through open gates. This is why your stillness now carries more power than your striving ever did. What comes next will reveal the inheritance you didn't even know existed, the generational blessing that has been waiting for your yes. The next revelation will show how your obedience tonight unlocks not just your miracle, but blessings for those connected to your name. You'll want to hold your focus, because the next wave carries legacy. Type "I walk in divine evidence" in the comments if your faith is alive right now. Blessing code 9933 has been released into your lineage. Beloved, the spirit world has entered a phase of inheritance release. What Archangel Michael and his legions have been preparing in the unseen is now beginning to unfold in generational waves. This is no longer about one miracle or one answered prayer. This is about legacy, a divine continuation of light through your bloodline. Heaven has chosen you as the vessel through which cycles are broken and blessings flow freely. Michael stands at the threshold of your lineage and declares, "The curse ends here, and the covenant continues." His voice travels through time itself, reaching into the history of your family line, severing the roots of limitation that once choked your destiny. For years, you may have felt patterns repeating, disappointments at the edge of breakthrough, fear just before success, instability every time peace drew near. Those were not coincidences. Those were generational echoes, the residue of old words and unhealed agreements. But tonight, the spirit world is rewriting those records. The light that surrounds you now is more than protection. It is correction. It is heaven adjusting the vibration of your lineage to match divine frequency. You have become the alignment point through which all future blessings will flow. Michael whispers, "You are the reset." That means your obedience tonight changes everything that comes after you. Your children, your family, your spiritual descendants will walk in a freedom you fought for. The angels are recording this moment, marking your name as a restorer of balance and a carrier of divine order. You are the bridge between what was broken and what will now bloom. The prayers your ancestors could not articulate are being answered through your awakening. The miracles they longed for will manifest through your hands. The spirit world operates in continuity. What begins in one generation finds completion in another. This is why you had to be awakened. Heaven could not allow this level of anointing to pass unnoticed. You are the one chosen to carry restoration in your DNA. Every act of faith you take from this point forward is not small. It ripples through time. When you speak light, generations respond. When you forgive, old wounds heal across unseen timelines. When you worship, heaven hears the voices of those who prayed before you, and the chain of redemption grows stronger. Archangel Michael reminds you to stay aware of this truth. You are never alone in your obedience. The spirit world surrounds those who carry purpose. Even now, angels are positioned around your home, around your loved ones, around your work. You may feel the energy shift, a coolness in the air, a sudden peace that feels almost tangible. That is not imagination. It is confirmation that heaven has settled upon your space. This is the manifestation of divine order, and it will not fade. But, beloved, the next revelation carries an even deeper truth, how this inheritance turns into impact. You are about to see how your personal miracle becomes the spark for others' transformation. The spirit world is not done moving. it is only beginning to reveal the scale of what your obedience has unlocked. The next wave will show how your light begins to spread into places you never expected. Hold your focus, for the most powerful truth of all is about to unfold. Type "I am the reset" in the comments if this message is piercing your spirit. Blessing code 1010 is now flowing through your generational line. Beloved vessel of divine inheritance, now the spirit world reveals the purpose behind your awakening. What was meant to bless you personally is about to expand into something far greater. Archangel Michael stands before the altar of divine fire and declares, "The chosen ones will not only receive miracles, they will become miracles in motion." You are entering the stage of divine influence, where your life begins to mirror the light you carry. Every word you speak, every act of kindness, every silent prayer from this moment forward becomes a current of transformation flowing into others. This is how heaven multiplies a miracle, by turning receivers into distributors of grace. The spirit world has already begun aligning hearts around you. People will start to find comfort simply by being near your presence. Your peace will shift their atmosphere. Your testimony will pierce through walls of doubt. That is the sign that the oil of divine movement is flowing through you. You are no longer just walking under open heaven. You are walking with heaven. The veil between realms thins wherever you go, because heaven trusts the purity of your intentions. This trust is sacred, and it must be protected. Michael warns, guard your oil. Not everyone can walk where you walk now. Some will not understand the stillness you carry, the focus you maintain, or the joy that no storm can take. They will try to interpret it through human reasoning, but this is divine territory. You are being taught how to operate from peace, not reaction. Every time you choose silence over fear, every time you choose love over pride, you are governing from the spirit world. That is how true authority works, not through loudness, but through alignment. You will begin to notice a new awareness in your spirit. The same situations that once triggered anxiety will now seem small and powerless. This is because the energy around you has elevated. You have stepped into a divine frequency that is untouchable by darkness. When confusion tries to approach, it will dissolve in your atmosphere. When fear whispers, it will lose its voice. You are surrounded by angelic resonance, layers of divine sound that guard you even while you sleep. The spirit world calls this the seal of serenity. Only those who have walked through fire can carry it. Archangel Michael now extends his sword toward you, not in battle, but in blessing. The sword glows with golden light as he declares, "The movement of heaven now flows through this one." That statement is a spiritual decree. From this point forward, your prayers will carry new weight. Your intercession will move faster, your discernment will sharpen, and your influence will extend beyond borders. You will see signs of this in subtle ways: doors opening, unexpected invitations, divine connections appearing without explanation. All of these are confirmations that heaven's current is now using your life as a channel. But this message does not end in revelation. It moves toward transformation. The next unfolding will reveal the final act of this spiritual movement, the release of divine overflow. What begins with one obedient heart becomes a flood that reaches nations. Stay connected, beloved, because what comes next is not only for you. It is for every soul linked to your journey. The spirit world is about to demonstrate what happens when a single life fully surrenders to divine motion. Type "Heaven flows through me" in the comments if your heart bears witness. Blessing code 1117 is now sealed upon your destiny. Beloved, the spirit world has reached its crescendo. The movement that began as a whisper has now become a river, and that river flows directly through your life. Archangel Michael stands once more at the center of this divine motion, his presence radiant with holy authority. He proclaims, "The cycle is complete. What was promised hath been released. The one who believed has become the vessel of fulfillment." Heaven's courtroom falls silent as this decree is spoken, for it is not a suggestion, it is law. Every angel that warred for your destiny now rejoices, for your miracle has crossed from the unseen into the visible. You may not yet see all the evidence, but your spirit already knows it has happened. The feeling of peace, the sudden weight lifting off your heart, the calm certainty replacing doubt, these are signs that manifestation had been sealed. You have entered what heaven calls the realm of completion. It is the moment when prayer transforms into testimony. You no longer have to strive, beg, or question. What was once pending is now permanent. The spirit world has moved, and nothing can reverse what has been decreed. Archangel Michael speaks again, his tone gentle yet filled with power. You have walked through alignment, endured purification, and passed through revelation. Now you stand as fulfillment embodied. Those words mean that you have become the answer to your own prayer. The transformation that began within you has changed the frequency of your entire existence. Your atmosphere is no longer the same. Everything that interacts with you must now respond to divine order. The light you carry will magnetize what belongs to you and repel what does not. This is the evidence of your completion. The spirit world celebrates, for one more vessel of divine fire has been fully awakened. You will find in the coming days that miracles flow naturally. Peace will precede your decisions. Provision will follow your obedience. People will be drawn to the light you carry, not understanding why they feel hope when they hear your voice or peace when they stand near you. That is heaven using your energy as a healing sound. Archangel Michael calls it the resonance of redemption. It means that your existence itself has become a sermon, your presence a prayer, your life a signpost pointing others toward the light. But the Spirit also gives this reminder: do not let your flame burn in silence. Heaven ignites light not to hide it but to spread it. Share your testimony. Speak of what you have seen and felt. Your miracle is not just personal. It is a prophecy meant to awaken others. You are part of a movement that transcends time, carrying divine momentum across nations and generations. The spirit world is still moving, and now, through you, it moves even faster. So, beloved, before you leave this moment, lift your spirit in gratitude. Declare aloud, "The spirit world has moved for me, and I am now a vessel of the miracle." Let that declaration echo across the unseen realms as your seal of completion. You have walked through the entire arc of divine movement, from calling to confirmation, from promise to fulfillment, and heaven itself bears witness to your transformation. If this word has stirred your soul, do not let it remain silent. Like this message to keep the light traveling. Share it so others may awaken to the same current of divine motion. Comment your confirmation below, and subscribe so that you remain part of this prophetic movement led by heaven's fire. You are more than a viewer. You are a participant in the rising of light across the earth. Type "I am the fulfillment of heaven's promise" in the comments if you receive this in your spirit. Blessing code 1200 has now been fully released. Beloved child of the covenant, the spirit world has completed its motion around you, but the mission continues. This word has come forth as divine light, and now you are invited to help that light reach others still walking in shadow. When you sow through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link below, you are not merely supporting a message. You are fueling a movement of awakening. Archangel Michael declares, "Those who fund the flame will live beneath open heavens." As you give, your seed becomes prophetic fire, spreading light, breaking chains, and multiplying miracles in lives you may never meet. I release this decree over you now. Every act of generosity tonight returns as multiplied grace, divine protection, and supernatural increase. Do not delay. Align your heart with the flow of heaven and respond as one chosen to carry its light. Let your giving become the sound of obedience that heaven remembers.